Here we're going to be opening up the occlusion using the patient's own occlusal surfaces. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to align the closed occlusion to the center of blender. We're going to put this into different collection. I'm going to parent the lower one to the upper one, Control P to parent, and then we're going to use the ICP alignment module to align the upper with the open occlusion to the upper with the closed occlusion. Unfortunately, the scans are a little bit dissimilar, so they don't overlap 100%. Using Alt-P to clear the parent and keep the transformation. Then we're going to do a bit of object management, and one of the uppers I'm going to hide because we only need one upper. Now it's time to make a model for both models, for both lower models. Then I'm going to color one model to make it less confusing. We're going to name the upper model upper. Then note how the mesh looks. It's not ideal for sculpting. Therefore, I'm going to go into the wax up module and we're going to remesh this one with the sculpt remesh tool, and I'm going to keep that at 4, and we're going to apply that. So the reason why I'm using that is to maintain the surface topography of the teeth. This mesh is ideally suited for sculpting. In the model designer, I'm going to go to the sculpt, and we're going to then sculpt and push this mesh into the other model, the orange model. So I'm using the blob tool on the negative. This pushes it inward. Now I've got to ensure that all of the model is pushed in, so we've got a separation between the occlusal surface and the bottom of the model. Now you can imagine when we're cutting this occlusal surface, this separation has to be clear, otherwise it's not going to separate. Then I'm going to go to the simplify of the sculpting and smooth it down a little bit. When done, we need to cut the occlusal surface. Go to the model designer, and the top model is going to be the object being cut, and the lower one we're going to name that insert. It's going to expand outwards to 0.1 millimeter, and we're going to voxel remesh it and cut it. Then select your occlusal surface and the other model, Control I, and then X delete. This leaves us with an occlusal surface, which will then open up the occlusion to your other occlusal bud scan.